All right, guys, I got a big announcement for you. Something very different is happening, and it's not just me wearing a pink shirt. I'm actually filming in a different location. I am in Los Angeles. That's right, we're not far from Hollywood, and we've booked a whole lineup of guests who are actually coming down to sit with me and we'll talk shop. Like, I've been on the internet for 10 plus years doing these biographies, and even just like walking down to the Hollywood Strip, everyone stops me, knows who I am. So we decided, you know, it's about time that I come here and get face to face with a lot of these stars. We have a pretty impressive lineup of people that we'll be sitting down with over the coming days, and we're gonna be pumping a ton of content for you guys. It's gonna be on YouTube, it's gonna be on Instagram, it's gonna be on Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, we're everywhere. And we've also launched a brand new website known as beforetheywerefamous.com. So what we're doing now, continue to see more of it from me and other members of the Before They Were Famous team. But it's just exciting to get out of Toronto and start meeting some of these celebrities that, well, I've been endorsing for years. So lots of cool stuff, guys, happening. You can follow us on all platforms, beforetheywerefamous.com. Keep up with the team, see all the stuff we're doing, all the people we're meeting. We've got some really cool interviews coming your way. So very excited. Thanks for sticking with us, and here we go. All right, you guys already know what this is. We're not doing no intro, we're not doing no plug. It's just me and Kid Buu sitting down talking for about an hour. The show is called Everyone is Famous, because we're in LA now, and literally I walk around the streets, everyone here seems to be famous. And you've been famous for a while.
Yeah, you can be famous for anything nowadays.
Right? Like there's like kids like chiropractors are becoming famous for working on people's whatever. I saw that you just did that.
Yeah, for $11.99 you could be famous now too, apparently.
With the check mark.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah. I didn't even bother buying it because I'm like.
It kind of ruined it. Because you know, before you could like slide in a like a really Instagram model's DM and maybe you would stand out now. Imagine all the dweebs now with their governments just sliding. It's just all blue checks now. It's like, I don't know, why even bother?
Cab drivers looking like they're flexing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Right, Uber Lux. He's like, damn, I'm bagging them.
Yeah, there should be like a benchmark about becoming famous. If you don't got a Before They Were Famous video, you shouldn't get a check mark, something like that.
Something. I don't agree with though. It's weird to me.
You've
like,
yeah.
who would want to impersonate a postman? No shade to postman. I'm just saying. You know what I mean though, like, right? Like, he's less likely to be impersonated, so why the $11.99? But at the same time, if I were to put myself in the shoes of the postman, on my days off, it would be freaking awesome to go visit Vegas and have a blue check and live the life for that moment for $11.99. So because of that, I understand it. So I'm not knocking it, you know.
But once they buy that check mark, it's not gonna be enough. They're gonna be like, yo, now I gotta buy 500,000 followers.
Yeah, now I gotta go get a moissanite jewelry to look like the rapper, and let me go rent the car and said I bought it. Like, look.
Yeah, they get face tattoos but not live the life.
Yeah, or henna face tats.
Yeah, for part-time Vegas weekends. Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, things are changing, man. It's like, obviously we've met up a bunch of times over the years. People don't know this. Me and Boo are actually like buddies. We like Skype or Zoom and like catch up once every couple weeks.
People don't know a lot about me. I've been like off the grid.
And he's been telling me a lot of things that have been going on with his career and people stopping him on the street and all sorts of stuff we're gonna get into in today's conversation. But yeah, I'm interested to know like how you're feeling about the internet. Obviously, like everything's kind of getting regulated and people have like, I don't know, gotten canceled, and there's obviously downsides to this becoming famous online, like having videos of you getting millions of views, and then like that affects your personal life or your reputation and all this shit. Like has it been all good, more good or more bad for you being famous?
I think a double-edged sword. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people see something and they think this is it. That's like wow, I have to be like superstar. And if you actually acquire it, which is not hard, it's just as much as you can afford, then that's how much you can be famous. And the more you can afford, then the more famous you can be. There's some people now that are famous for literally nothing. I don't want to say any names, but there's a lot of them that are. You have to wonder, you scratch your head, like, why are they relevant? Like, why do they post them so much? Behind the scenes, that person is paying everyone. It's called publications, you know? You know this. So it's like, at a certain point, I'm like, well, if I feel discomfort from what's happening from my personal life, you know, because I can't separate the two, then it was like this realization I had, you know, it dawned on me like, wow. Like for example, I had a time when I was with my daughter at a movie theater, and we were going into the theater, and it was like 40 skaters just rushed to take a photo with me, but because it was so sudden, she caught like this kind of a little bit of like an anxiety, like it, and she told me, she was like, I didn't like that, like I just got like, you know, like the adrenaline, I didn't like that though, and I was like, you know what, I didn't either. I thought it was just us two here hanging out, and I didn't expect that. And I'm all about like still showing love to fans and stuff, but it just caught me so off guard that it made me think, what if it wasn't love? What if it was like the complete opposite? We would have been off guard and defenseless in a situation, like to an extent, you know, but 40 people is a lot of fucking people. Like you're not defending yourself on that.
Bro, and like sometimes I've been to like the X in Toronto, and the way these like, oh, I'm a big guy, but then let's say like a college football player comes up to me like running at me, and like I don't know he's a fan, but he's coming at me with his hand up. I'm like, what? And then he's expecting me to be so much cooler than I am. He's like, yo, I fuck with your shit, and I was like, oh, okay, like don't run at me next time.
Well, you gotta be careful because you don't know someone's intentions neither.
And we're working in an industry where people are getting shot and killed and all sorts of serious things. You know?
There's a lot of weird stuff that'll go on, and then some people don't know how to keep their composure around someone who has a celebrity status. So when they become out of character and they don't know how to keep their composure, then maybe they'll say or do something that is inappropriate or may offend you, you know? Or maybe they get so far out of character, they're doing something that they didn't even think they would do. Like I've had some situations that were like really sketch, you know what I mean? That we didn't think would turn out that way, and then they end up super, super bad.
Oh yeah, I've probably been through, I don't know what you're exactly, I'm talking, I've been like sued, I've had fucking my shit hacked, deleted, canceled.
All types of stuff. Bro, I was in the studio with Bugs Ronan, and because I was with him and he's a known producer for Uzi, I had someone hack my laptop and hard drive with what is called a crypto locker. I'd never heard of it the first time. And they were like, in 7 hours, if you don't pay this much to my PayPal or in crypto or whatever, that we're gonna, like, all the files, everything in the computer will leak, like personal emails. Like, they had a lot. And I was like, I didn't care. I was like, you're gonna leak my nude? Go ahead. I don't care. I don't have a Uzi song. I don't know what to tell you.
I want to talk about your public relationships, but we'll get to that. Keep going.
Yeah, so like stuff like that, yeah, you don't even know. You're like, what the hell? How did you guys even know I was in the studio with this kid?
Yo, crypto, did you buy, are you in the crypto scene?
Yeah, I'm part of the SHIB army.
Okay.
Yeah, I got Shiba Inu, Dojilan, Pika, the musket coins are
dog face?
Yeah, the little Shiba Inu dog, yeah.
I don't know too much about it, but I felt like that technology is amazing. We know it's gonna change the banking system and whatnot, but like so much bad came out of it. Like it was used as like a criminal enterprise, get rich quick. It fucked with, like, my YouTube channel got hacked one night. I woke up at 5 a.m. All of a sudden, 2 of my big money-making channels were promoting crypto scams, and YouTube deleted my whole business one night. And I'm like, fucking man, like this crypto technology is so ahead. People are manipulating to terrible things. Someone wanted to take me down. They use, like, it just, I see like so much bad shit from it.
That's trendy now though. I feel like with the new generation, it's trendy to exercise your capabilities of what you can do on the internet, because now we definitely live on the internet more than we live in the real world. They've kind of been intertwined as a matrix. So I feel like a lot of kids, bro, I see on TikTok, I see like a kid that's like my daughter's age with like 150,000 in cash, and you know how he got that from freaking scamming and doing all this kind of shit. But it's crazy to think that that's like what the world is now, you know? Because when I was 16, like to get that much, we'd have to do, I mean, you can do some hacking. Like I did some stuff like that, but there'll be all kind of other shit that'll wind you up in prison for life. Hacking is like a slap on the wrist. Fraud at max, what, 2 years some people get? You know, think about within the 2 years, if you made...
Right, assault's like 5 years, so hacking's nothing.
Yeah, it's nothing, slap on the wrist. If you made $10 million, you mean to tell me you wouldn't sit for 24 months just so you can get out and go unbury the money and spend it? I would. So at 16 years old, even if they try you as an adult, you'll be out before you're 18.
All right, so all the kids watching this video who are like, fuck school, I'm gonna do what he said, just leave us alone. Okay?
Yeah, don't hack, please don't hack. I mean, I haven't had any attempts. I don't do the two-step authentication. When you do two-step authentication, you're more likely to get hacked. Because then now they have those 2 steps to go through to authenticate the factor. If you have no number, no email attached, there's nothing to authenticate, just the password. And if you can't guess it, then you can't guess it. So I've never had 2-step authentication.
I learned a lot. Okay, so every time I meet you, things are a little different, but I always find that you're a very good storyteller. You're very educated, informative. You do your research on shit to a level that other people would never do. Like we talked about the last time we were interviewing, the whole clone thing was still a conversation, right?
Yeah, that was still a big topic.
But bro, you had that fucking shit down to a pat where you had like this code number 112
0112568. Yeah. So literally that was my lunch number in junior high school, which a lot of people don't know. Sorry guys.
Bro, you hit that number so fast, like it was.
That's why. Yeah, that's why people were like, they seen the way I said it, they were like, it's gotta be real. And what freaked me out, like I honestly had to do like 2 or 3 sessions of hypnotherapy after this, because this kid on TikTok said if you look up the clone model number 012568, an article pops up from CNN. And I look at the article and it's talking about clones and 2 children and how one is a boy, but the whereabouts of the boy is unknown. And I swear to God, bro, it freaked me out. Like it had me like, I was like questioning reality for a second. I'm looking in the mirror like, what the hell?
Like you like all of a sudden go, wait, shit, am I actually a clone?
Yeah. Cause I knew what was going on. I was like,
did they make this for you or is it a coincidence?
no, this is cause you know, internet, when you publish an article, like the date is there, like that's on Google. Like there's no way to fabricate or change that date. Like you can change.
Before your shit.
Yeah, it was before. This is 2007.
Oh, it's okay. I thought it was a fan.
No, this is 2007. And what's weird is you would think that perhaps maybe I like knew about the article and memorized that number, but no, dude, this is literally my lunch number in junior high. Because you know, like,
more sense to me.
you know, like you either buy lunch or like the government pays for your lunch. And my mom was like one of the low income earnings, so like I got free lunch at school, so I had to memorize that fucking number. If not, I wasn't gonna eat lunch unless I fucking bought like a slice of Papa John's, because our school also served Papa John's pizza.
Yeah, the way you hit that number, I was like, that's from someone's. It was obviously it was your clone store, but the way you hit it, I'm like, yo, that guy's been saying that number his whole life.
And honestly, originally the reason, okay, so, and I said this before, I didn't know who Vlad was.
Yeah, so let's do the whole clone thing and talk, because people out there. I get mad views. People still talk about that shit or search that shit up. You and Gucci, I made a top 5 fake clone rappers or whatever, and I still get traction. So people still think that whole thing's a...
Even if I tell them I'm not, they'll go, oh. Yeah. Like winking, I'm like, no. And they're like...
Credit to you, man. You were very convincing and had so many little intricate details. I think I was even gonna drive out to the location you were mentioning. Like, I was kind of convinced, to be honest.
Well, here's the thing. Because I didn't know who really Vlad was, and then like last minute when we were getting there, I was looking in the car ride at some stuff, and I seen a few videos of people that were like on the show, but it didn't seem like a serious interview. Like it didn't seem like your show. It didn't seem like a no jumper, you know. So I was like, oh, this is for fun. This is like what's that one comedian that I did their show? Andy.
Oh. The mixed guy, the half black, half
yeah.
Guy? What? Great show. Oh, Andy. What's Andy?
No, is it Andy?
I've done his before. They were famous. I know him.
Fucking son of a.
He was in 2 Broke Girls. He's in everything.
Yeah, it's on the tip of my tongue. But anyhow, I thought it was one of those. It's gonna bug me now.
Fuck! I didn't know his name too.
It's gonna bug me.
He's great. Oh, he's got that. What's that? That Playhouse, the show. He has a talk show, but they like blow
yeah, I did that show, and they tasered me with a cattle prow and like hit me with a dildo, and then I like.
Did it air?
It was live. It was a live show at the Adult Swim.
Yeah,
it was Adult Swim. Yeah, it was Adult Swim. So fucking. Anyhow, I'm thinking that that's what the show's about. So I'm like, well, how can I like? I don't want to be goofy. Too much like stuff like that, because I was already doing like the flamethrower pig shit, and like, and to be honest, I was just trying to seem approachable and seem more like what I was emulating what I see influencers do, which is just to be fun and approachable. And I was trying to, you know, turn a new leaf and be that. Yeah. So, and I was quite the opposite. So.
You also have to get attention. Like you had pink hair.
You know.
Right.
So. I get in there and I'm like looking at videos, I see people, you know, mimicking, like not mimicking, but mocking it, kind of like they didn't take him serious. Like one dude was like, he had his face tattooed like Spawn, and he was like that he saw a little Uzi in a spice rack cabinet, and I didn't know. I was skimming through it, and I was like, what the hell is this nonsense? So I went in and I was like, well, rather than nonsense, maybe now could be a good time to spread awareness for the Raelian movement. You know, and I was like, what better way than to speak about their most like controversial topic, cloning. And I feel like in this,
what is the? You've told me about this before, and I got lost. But it's very interesting shit. What is the Raelian movement? For those who don't know,
the Raelian movement is a movement of people who want to spread the message of infinity, and infinity of love and peace. There's
nothing to do with aliens.
Yeah, essentially, but the same way how a Mexican immigrant can cross the border and a US soldier will consider him an illegal alien, you know, you look, it looks like us. It's not like a green hair, the word alien, you know what I mean? So it's the same thing. It's a human race that created us in their image and likeness. Okay. But because they're not from Earth, they're considered the word alien. The same way how if a illegal immigrant were to cross border, our country would consider them an illegal alien. Yeah. You know, so some people, they kind of like get misconstrued and lost in within the words. It's not like tall grays, or it's not like some little alien that's like green with like 3 fingers and a little round head, or nothing like that. It's exactly how the Bible describes it. We were created in the image and likeness, you know, of this, of our Creator, so to speak. So.
And what's your relationship with them?
With them, I want to be more active. I've been more active since then. I had to take some time off of the cloning thing, which was very detrimental to my brand and also my contract with the label. Yeah. They wanted me to do more of it, and you know, I did the live video, so.
I'm keeping up, so I can wrap this all back up. Since the last time I met you, though, you seem to you're with it. Last time you were more like characters with like zingers. You're really.
Yeah. Well,
Have you been sober or something?
Yeah, I was gonna say. Well, I was high as a kite. You know, I was fucking high, bro, all the time. Percocets, fucking all kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like the Rockstar diet, what they would say, the cocktail. You know, you wake up, you drink, you get high, like from wake up to night. You know, and that.
I can tell your head's definitely more level-headed for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
And so, Raelian movement, are you a member or not?
Yes.
They're affiliated with cloning. Yes. And you wanted to bring attention to what you are a member of and spread words and propaganda or facts about cloning. I
wanted to spread awareness so that way younger individuals can learn about a topic and perhaps maybe want to change their career path in life. Maybe someone wants to be a biologist, scientist, something that maybe they're like, I want to look into this cloning thing. Maybe some kid is so much in disbelief that maybe it just riled him up inside. He's like, I don't fucking believe this. Can I curse?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, okay, I didn't notice you were cursing. You'd be like, you know, I don't fucking believe Boo. I don't like this guy. Fuck him. I want to prove him wrong. So I'm gonna go to college and I'm gonna learn as much as I can about this to prove him wrong. Well, when he goes to college, he's gonna learn that it's actually a possibility that you could do it.
My life into trying to prove you wrong, and there's fucking websites and links, and there was all this. I'm like,
scientific facts that can prove that you can clone.
You weren't like like if Lil Pump did this, it would have lasted a minute. It lasted a couple of years. You had so much data, information from whatever your Raelian involvement. You actually knew what you were talking about.
It was 8. At that point, I was already 8 years into the movement, about give or take, about 8 to 10 years into the movement.
So is that like your religion?
Yeah, but it's not really a religion. It's more so of I guess, it's just humans. You know, we don't want to be called a religion or a group or anything like that, because then it starts to get into a box. You know, and anyone a part of it now becomes like this you know, misjudgment. Like back in the early 70s and 80s, they were like, oh, they're a sex cult, because the only information people could find about them was that they were okay with gays being married. And back then, that was still very like, whoa, this isn't cool. You know, we've progressed so much since then. And then now, in the 80s...
They were getting bad press, but they're not as big as the other...
Then in the 80s, it was like, oh, well, they're an alien religion because they believe this. And, you know, and then like later, it just became just more and more. Well, they're atheists, so they must be... You know, and then they always got something to say. So because of that, when the Raelians helped push the legalization for women to go topless in New York, it was done by Sonoko, a friend of mine. She's from Japan. And I remember that. when they asked her, yeah, I don't know if I mentioned the asked her, for those who are watching this and didn't know, when they asked her, well, why didn't you just go do this in your country? The journalist asked her, which is kind of like a dickhead question. You know, it's fucked up. She said, well, women are women everywhere, and I live here now, so here's a good start. You know, it's so simple, but it's so honest, so true, and it's like, well, that's true, but she never mentioned being Raelian. She never said, well, the Raelians believe. She never mentioned that word, because then immediately people will start looking, researching, and be like, oh, well, you guys are this, and you guys are that.
Yeah. It's like saying you're part of Scientology. People just throw you under the bus.
Yeah, so they just rather not say it and just be like, I'm just a person. I'm just a person that I believe strongly in this. And the same thing went for gay marriage. The same exact thing went for gay marriage. It was bro, we're 400,000 deep and it's growing every day. So if there's something that we want to pass as a law and it consists of people going and signing some petition, you can look at 400,000 signatures already out the door. If it's pro-humanitarian, if it helps.
Oh, that's good. Well, people unite under things that they believe in, so it's cool that people don't even look outside what their parents tell them to do, so at least you found something for yourself.
Yeah, exactly. My mom she was like, whatever you know, like, go ahead, be a free spirit. As long as you're not like out there fucking killing people, like, I'm okay with it.
Man, I know so much about this guy. I know about his brother and all this. He's lived in 6 different cities.
Bro, free my brother, but he locked up right now.
We can't jump. We have to finish we gotta finish the clone thing. What you said it all backfired. Now, before we talk about the negative, I'm gonna tell you, I thought it was pretty fucking cool. I thought, sure, people are laughing or talking shit, and Gucci Mane was getting all sorts of press for transforming his body. I thought it was a smart lane at a time when you could 10x your popularity and you're selling your music doing so. So I'm like, let him run with it. Like, I think it's a funny shtick, and I can't prove that he's lying. So I thought it was cool. I was seeing other rappers do more fucked up shit. I just thought this was kind of intellectual. I was impressed by your delivery, your conviction. So I made videos where we profited off of like saying you were talking shit, but behind the scenes I was like, yo, I like this. I like his balls to do that. But you tell me how it backfired.
Well, first and foremost, it backfired because my friend that I mentioned in the interview that was responsible for the cloning, that's a serious legal issue she was in, Sophia, and still till this day. So for me to be out there was on some like, it kind of came off as on some dry snitch and shit, you know, but they're not street hood people, so they're just looking like, well, you kind of dishonored everything. We shared secrets with you, and you exchange it for what? For fame, for money. After we taught you like the values of life is more than that. So it was kind of like, you've been with us 8 years and you've learned nothing. We're disappointed in you. So they just stopped inviting me to the meetings. They stopped inviting me to these ceremonies. They just stopped contacting. And I lost what was the one thing that made me a better person in life, because their ways of life and teachings did make me better. Honestly, I wouldn't be Kid Buu if it wasn't for the Raelian movement. You guys would still have the old me, Marquise, a very violent, non-loving individual. I did not show love to the other people, bro. It was all take all. This is for me, and why do I gotta be nice to you? Like, no one's nice to me. Like, I'll take and take and take.
So when you grow up with no money, you kind of have to defend yourself.
Yeah, I was very savage, very fucking savage, and I did things that I'm not proud of, and I'm gonna continue to do as much good as possible to kind of outweigh that karma. And that's my mission in life, is to do as much good and try to ignore it. And every day I try to ignore it. And trust me, there's dudes who volunteer to be crash dummies, and I try not to give them the time of day, because I already know what they're doing. They're certain individuals in 2017. Remember that, where they'll do anything like steal chicken and go run, like boom, you know, boom turned a new leaf, but like that was like a perfect example of a motherfucker that was willing to do anything, even go to jail just for some fame. You know what I'm saying? Like literally do anything. And even some of the stuff I did was illegal.
It was killing him inside, we all know now, right? But
like the flamethrower, like that wasn't right here. Like, you know, I wasn't allowed to do that in public. Obviously, a helicopter, police came, we skipped the scene. So there's things like, you know, you don't think about. And now today, I wouldn't try to do that. So cherish those moments, I say, from the internet, the things that I did. Cherish those moments if they were entertaining, because I am not going to do that again. Especially now being a single father. I'm not gonna jeopardize, I'm all she got. Well, I'm not gonna do nothing stupid to exchange for what? For invasion of privacy, for a check that
that 80% of it has to be recouped back to the person who gave it to me. So technically, it's a loan. It's a loan.
Record labels?
Yeah, yeah. It's, so essentially,
Conversation we have to have. But you touched on your daughter, Jada. She's here with us today. So why don't we find out what Buu's like as a dad? Why don't we have your daughter come join us? I feel like Jerry Springer as I'm like coming out.
R.I.P.
I know.
She just told me about this.
At the time of filming this, the latest celebrity passing was Jerry Springer. My wife filmed the video for this at home, but it's probably up by the time you've seen this. Anyway, can we get a chair in here and have Jada come on set? Okay, so we decided to bring Kid Buu's daughter here. Jada, how old are you?
I'm 16.
Tell me what it's like having Buu as a father.
I mean, it's pretty cool, I guess, you know? It's pretty normal to me. I don't know how to say it, like, I don't let it make me feel different from anyone else, you know?
Now, I asked you off camera, do your friends like know who your dad is?
I mean, some of them know. My close friends only, for real, to be honest.
For sure they're going home and like Googling your dad and being like, oh, my dad's a plumber. This is... So I heard you're like, it's like, what did you inherit from your dad? What do you guys have in common?
Looks, for sure.
She's a pretty like ambitious, creative 16-year-old. You already started your own brand?
Oh yeah, I have. It's called, idevourpussy.com.
If you didn't hear that, I think her father will...
Replace the U with a V though.
Say it?
Replace the U with the V.
I can't even say that
Yeah,
around her.
I devourpussy.com.
There you go.
You can check out her work. The brand is called Devour.
Now, obviously, for me, I understand that like you got to be a little edgy to get people's attention to sell stuff. But being 16, how did you know that? How did you come up with a brand like that?
I don't know, I just was in my room and I thought about it, so I did it.
Very cool. Now, what are your? You got a father who's in the entertainment industry, also a man who's a serial entrepreneur. What do you want to do with your life? Do you want to be an entertainer?
Maybe, but I'm more into architecture. I'd like to build houses and design them.
She's been doing that since a baby, bro. I've spent on Robux at least 50 grand. This is true.
Oh, that Lego video game thing? Like you build on the game?
Yes. Bro, she'll design all sorts of things. Houses, mansions. She designed Black China's mansion after being in it for 30 minutes. That was creepy. That was I was like, what?
What did you think of Black China? Did you want her to be your stepmom?
I mean, she was pretty cool, but I don't care about that stuff, you know? It's whatever to me.
Now that had to be when you go to school and you're like, my dad's dating Black China. Did you not become the most popular person at school?
I didn't tell people. I didn't go around like bragging about it or anything.
She ain't a snitch, yo. Okay, cool. Well, one more thing, just because I have you here. I know that you guys had some controversy. People were talking about your past and whatnot. Was your daughter brought into all that?
Yeah,
nonsense?
that girl. I mean, I don't know if like legally I could mention her name because her dad's like he's literally ex-CIA. But they all know the famous girl. That some people don't even know her name. Just like there's a girl that did an interview saying that you hit your kid and you lied about your age. And till this day, people run with that narrative. I believe even if she were to come clean, they would still believe the narrative. Yeah. And that's just the sad thing about it.
Wait, they said you hit Jada. Well, do you want to clear the record on that?
Bro, when I tell you my pops has never put his hands on me like a day in my life, I mean that, like never, ever.
I don't have a reason. She's such a good kid.
I think it would feel good just to actually be able to put that out there for all like the internet detectives, guys who make content like me. No one asked you to put it was my idea to see if your daughter wanted to come on the show, but I think it just must feel like a weight off your shoulders having that out there.
Yeah. I still believe that, like the same thing with me saying I'm not a clone, and then like within the hour of me posting that, someone will comment underneath it, so are you a clone? I feel like there's no, yeah, so it's cool for us to speak our truth, I tell her, but like, don't have expectations. If you have the expectation of a result, you may set yourself up for failure if someone doesn't align with your expectation. But it's still important to voice yourself. And that's what I'm really big on that with her. That's why her brand, when she told me what the name, I was like, well, I did just say you can express yourself, so I'm not gonna contradict that.
Dude, that's not the only thing that was pretty impressive. What if you want to follow Jada, a young girl looking to express herself, become an architect, famous father, what's your TikTok handle?
1-800-BOOTY.
One more time.
1-800-BOOTY.
She's a marketing genius. That could be a business right there.
Handle is what I want to know. The booty, like 1-800-BOOTY, BOODIE.
No, BOOTIE.
Oh, like actual booty. Like, okay. Okay.
That's awesome. Okay, Jada, thank you so much for coming over. I got more to talk to your dad about. Okay, so we got to talk about some of your famous flings here. One girl you made famous. The other one was much more famous than you. But I know about, I'm sure there's more, but I know two girls in your history that I've reported on. First, let's talk about the one that just rose to fame, throwing you under the bus. We can't share her name or her identity. I've met her. I interviewed her. Well, you and me were such good buddies. You were like, yo, you post that, we're not cool. And I said, all right, we won't post that.
Yeah, I was I was saying, is this defamation of character? Let's sue her. And the label said, well, there's no such thing as bad press. And I was like, it's not about that. It's like, do you understand? I have a family, I have a kid. This is my name, my face card. Like, before this whole fame stuff, I understand I was doing, some gimmicks and some haha kiki stuff, but I kind of draw the line here, man. Like, this is too much. Please get this deleted.
I think it turned you from, once you become a criminal or a villain in the public's eye, you're not really desirable to, it taints the whole thing. It shuts so many doors.
Yeah, and it's funny because they were like, oh, we're gonna sign you based off of how you market, and we trust your word. And it's like, well, I told you, let's stop this. Let's pivot and just focus on music. And they were more focused on the gimmicks, especially around that time. They were signing everyone who was just, was gimmicky, but that doesn't convert to the music and that doesn't translate to money. And I really wish that they had listened to me as far as that, because then we would have been rolling in big bucks. Like, when they signed me, as opposed to jumping into what they jumped into, wanting to keep the gimmicks, I would have put the entire budget behind more of the Death to SoundCloud campaigns, maybe a remix, putting all the big artists like Ski Mask and Smoke Perp and all the rest of the SoundCloud guys on this other remix and just boosting it more, getting it to go platinum, and then do a rollout. Like, I had ideas, and they just weren't, they were just so focused on gimmick and bad press and me being a bad guy, and
yeah,
I just didn't want to do it. So
seeing numbers and search results they have.
That's why I went this way. I parted ways with them.
Yeah, so you're an independent artist now.
Yeah, independent artist, and honestly, the artist part is only because of the fans that are there that do want it. I don't, and I like music. I've always made it. Even when I wasn't famous, I would make it and just listen to it in the car. I like it. I think it's cool.
If I could do any of that, I would.
It's fun. Well, AI, you probably could now. So it was like that, but yeah, now independent, and I wouldn't sign at all.
So we're gonna end the interview talking about your new music, and I know that you're saying you do it just for the passion and the fans, which is amazing, because if you're not relying on that financially, you're 10 times ahead of everyone else anyway. But let's finish up with these girls here. So that girl's nuts. I even know behind the scenes, I introduced her to a guy she ended up dating, and he just said he's never had a wackier woman. I think he feared for his life and shit. It was fucking bizarre.
Dude, so okay, quick, I'll just real quick for everybody. I go to Toronto, it's 30 below zero. Friends that I meet there say, hey, you gotta get a ting. I was like, what's this? And they're like, well, it's a girl that you're gonna camp out with during winter because you're gonna get snowed in. And unless you wanna be home alone the whole winter.
October 31st, you gotta lock down.
Yeah, so get shacked up. So I download Tinder. Endorsement. No, so I download this app, a dating app, right? And we link, and the girl's ditzy. She thought my Porsche was a Rari, but it was a Porsche. And girls tend to always get the cars wrong. They think a coupe is a ghost and all this stuff or whatever, right? So whatever.
That's such a turn off right there, but that girl was.
We went on one date. She was ditzy as hell. I'm talking I've met a pair of white Air Forces smarter than this girl. So she comes to the hotel. We're staying at these Sheratons and stuff like that, nice hotels and whatever. So she's like, oh, who's this dude? She's gonna, who wouldn't? Money and joy. So she's hanging out. A snow blizzard literally fucking comes. That whole 30 feet of snow they were talking about literally happened. She contacts her family, lets them know where she's at. They're like, okay, they're cool, whatever, whatnot. And I noticed that whole family thing, so I'm like, oh, this is awkward. You're
like a little mommy's, daddy's girl. Like you were just saying that you're just independent, this and that, and live alone, all this. So it was contradicting. And then I later learned when we were snowed in that she goes to college for being a creative writer and journalism, which later made sense when she did that 1 hour fucking video. You know, like
that's her whole degree.
Yeah, that's her whole degree, and she pulled that right out. She's like, I'm getting all this money's worth from my degree.
I should have hired her as a co-host. People would just watch her. But yeah, she did you dirty, so I never talked to her again.
Yeah, and what's crazy is, all right, so I was very nice to her. I paid for her nose job. Like I went and got one.
And then she exposed you. She exposed you for what? You bought hers.
Yeah. Like, yeah, the nose job. I'm like, I bought yours, and I'm not hiding it. Someone asked me, I'm like, yeah, I got this is cool. Like I think it's cool. You know what I mean? Like,
I've looked at your before and after pictures. I think you made a great decision.
Thank you. Shout out Dr. Torgerson in what is it, Yorkville.
Oh yeah, a Toronto nose job.
Yeah, there you go. I got the Toronto man's nose. But yeah, I did that for her. I taught her marketing. I thought it could help with her journalism. I taught her about being a publicist. I said, you know, what you're going to college for, it could be useful in the States. And I was doing marketing for a lot of other artists at that time. You know, I was able to make extra cash and stuff while I was over there. So she got wind of a lot of that. And, you know, the whole thing like saying like, oh, I didn't know he had a kid is ironic because I call my daughter all the time. I talk about my daughter all the time. In my music, I speak of my daughter. And when she said it was contradicting, she was like, oh, I heard his music, it was horrible. Well, if you heard it, you would hear that I'm talking about my daughter.
Yeah. No, dude, the person that put that video out was not the person I met. People probably say that about everyone, but that was like a really well scripted out piece. And then on the other end, it was a basket case.
You know what I recently learned too? That I don't know if it's like in journalism or like psychology, but the whole like the victim card. You know what I mean? Like adding that to your persona and then you add victim, because I even had a publicist recently who was like, oh, let's rebrand you and you could play the victim card. And I was like, ill, like I don't do that. I'm not gonna sit here and play victim. Like, you know what I mean? It is what it is. Something happened and life goes on, but I'm not gonna sit and play the victim card like that. But it made a lot of sense and that does work. Someone sits and plays, you know, they victimize themselves and then they had some story.
It's also a big credit to you that was probably the height of your popularity, and she's sitting there going, fuck, I better come up with like, oh, I'll just drag him to get myself somewhere.
Bro, I tried to bring her to the States too, but at that time the reason why I was in Toronto was for some legal issues. So when I came back in, the FBI was expecting me, and they were like, well, we're expecting you. What's this luggage? She's not coming with you. And I was like, well, why not? She's on her own accord, she has a passport. And they were like, because you have so much money that if she comes over here, it's a flight risk. She may never go back to her country. You know, we're not, you know, she doesn't have citizenship, all this. So I understood.
Cock blocks.
Yeah, I understood, yeah. So I was like, look, you have to stay. We'll stay in contact. Like, you know, I'll still communicate with you. Like, it was just like a dating thing, you know, like not serious. We got snowed in together, you know? And dude, I started getting videos, like, you know, like those videos that like, guys are like, they send you like when the girls, you know, like in the studio doing, you know, groupie stuff. Okay. And I was getting that stuff sent to my Snapchat, my Instagram.
Of her?
Of her.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, performing acts on rappers and stuff. And I knew about it.
In Toronto or not?
In Toronto. Because she stood behind.
Who's the fuck's in Toronto to even bother with?
I don't know, there's a bunch of just like dudes, you know, that just on trying to rap or whatever the fuck.
I don't even know if that's worth bragging about,
but
unless it was Drake. Was it Drake?
No, far from it. Far from it. Like this is like Brampton man's. But yeah, like that happened and I was like, whatever, you know, like again, like it's not like, to me it's not serious. Like, you know, like we're just dated a little, so I'm cool with it. And then one of the guys ended up being someone I know. And when I confronted her about it, she tried to pull the he raped me card. And I said, whoa, whoa, whoa. Are you serious what you're saying? I was like, cause you deserve justice.
Yeah.
So I got the phone to film her saying that on FaceTime and she was like, no, I don't want you to record this. I'm embarrassed. And she like kind of switched up and I was like, no, if this happened, you need to like speak about this. Cause if-
Is this like 2016 or?
This is like the 17, 18, like when I was already in the States, you know, working as Kid Buu, I did Dead Roses already by then. Yeah. And we dropped the Blind for Love project.
I think it was like, you know, before Black Lives Matter, there was like the whole Bill Cosby, like this is like sexual assault at a pandemic.
Yeah, it was at that time where it was like, you don't joke with this stuff.
Yeah.
And I just knew she was full of shit.
because first of all, this kid was tinier than her. There's no way he's gonna overpower her. And I was like, did he drug you? She said, no. I was like, were you drunk? She said, no, he just overpowered me. And that's when I knew, I was like, this is bullshit, you don't want me to record it. So I was like, whatever. And then that's when I said, I've seen videos of you. When I said that, it was like when she got caught, it was defensive, upset, all this stuff, like kind of like, well, like if I'm like, kind of like throwing shame on her name. Like, how would you dare say or accuse me of something like that? And I was like, bro, I seen a video of someone's drunk in your mouth.
Okay, I think we've given her too much attention already. Let's move on from her. Can we talk about Black China? Yeah. How'd that work? Like, I made a bunch of news on it, but I felt like that she got with Rob Kardashian. But I thought for you that was a big, like, that's a big name. Like, even my mom knows who she is. So was it a publicity stunt or was it real? That's what I'm asking.
Nah, not publicity at all. I was, Zay Hilfiger is like a cool friend of mine at that time. I haven't hung with him in a long time, but I was with Zay and he's like, hey, we're gonna hang out, go to my aunt's house. And this is, for the record, guys, this is before Zay Hilfiger came out the closet. So I don't wanna hear no funny jokes in the comments, okay? He was still straight at that time. At least I think he was. So we're hanging out, we're going to his aunt's. His aunt's freaking Black China.
His aunt?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I'm like, dude, you didn't say your aunt's Black China, what the fuck? So he's like, what? And I was like, whatever, this is LA. I guess I gotta get used to things.
Fuck, yeah.
You gotta get used to this type of shit, right? It's LA. She was making fun of me about my having white socks. She's like, I don't fuck with people with white socks. You can't trust nobody with white socks. And I was like, what's wrong with white socks? If I get black ones, the black fuzz is gonna get in my nail and look like I have dirty feet. I don't know. So we had this whole debate about it. Dude, I got so drunk. I didn't even mean to. I'm not a drinker, but she kept like, Hennessy, shots. I was like, I can't get drunk. I didn't eat lunch yet. I ordered pizza.
Lunch? What time was this?
It was early. We're talking like 12:30, 1-ish. Yeah. I don't know what happened. One shot to the next. It was like I did this, and when I took my health down, it was nighttime.
Skinny too, right? Like
it was, yeah. Oh, I was way skinnier back then, bro. Like 140 or something, dude. I was like super, like, I wasn't eating. You know what I mean? Like my diet consisted of shrooms and Nutella. You know. So she ordered pizza. It was dark. I got so drunk, I felt queasy. I go to the restroom. I don't want to embarrass myself.
This one's good? Oh.
Nah, that one malfunctioned on the top.
All right. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. So, anywho, we didn't hit it off so well. I puked in her house and stuff. I made a huge mess. She was upset. You know, we exchanged words. She got very, very upset. You know, that a few days later felt the need to tell Zay, like, hey, tell him to come by. I want to apologize. That was a horrible first impression. And I respected that. I was like, okay. Because the first night, what I experienced was like, okay, this is what I see on the internet. But the second time, with the apology and wanting to take me out to dinner and stuff to make up for that, I thought that was, I was like, okay, this is a different side of her. And that led to another night of hanging out, and another day of hanging out, and then another day, and we became really good friends. And that friendship ended up just like I guess a relationship, like we're really good friends though. Yeah, but I don't really communicate with too many people nowadays, to be honest. I talk to you, and a few other people. Like I still talk with like Trippy and stuff like that. Yeah. Like we're still cool. People don't know about that shit, but like me and him.
Certain zones want to keep playing the same game, so you're kind of checked out of that.
Yeah, I checked out of that. I don't have the energy to stay in that. You know what I mean? It's draining.
So, but you're cool. So that's wonderful to hear. What was the chaos what you guys went on some vacation? I remember.
Oh yeah. I was literally about to bring that up. I was like, she also brought that up in she didn't bring it up. Charlamagne the God did. He was like, hey, didn't you guys have? And she was like, no, that wasn't true. Which is funny because, dude, that situation allegedly happened at nighttime, and then the news footage pictures were showing daytime. Like Google, and then if you really screenshot that and put the Google image search that we got now, it'll show you about what it was for, and it was like a bomb scare from like 2014 or something. Yeah. So.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that. I didn't know what that knew, but anyway, you guys parted ways, all good. So anyway, we're getting to the end of this, so let's talk about the future. Let's talk about what you've been working on. I know fashion's a huge thing, but I also want to hear about your music. You tell me what you've been working on.
Pink Planet. I've been working on that when I was with the label. I announced the title for a bit, and then the whole thing of us getting away from the label was a long uphill legal battle.
So I kind of withheld a lot of the music, some of the stuff I had reproduced, re-recorded. And because I really wanted to give this album independently from me, I just kind of I didn't put it out. You know, I gave a few mixtapes here and there. I did a 50-song mixtape during COVID that no one talked about, which I thought was fucking legendary personally, because the only other person I knew did that was like Lil B in my time, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I did I keep still somewhat consistent by dropping music, but it wasn't my main priority, my focus. My main priority and focus was to get my balance right, become a dad again and just be full-time on with that and building myself up. And I believe that with that, I was able to create new music now that I never was able to create before. So Pink Planet is something totally different than what it started as. And originally in 2017, it was
I wore this shirt for you, by the way.
it was gonna be entirely, thank you. It was gonna be entirely just like fuckery in that. This one is about statements, life's experiences. Like Pink Planet's just totally different now. It's just self-expression in a rager form, I guess you can say, when a kid just goes in the room and screams into a pillow. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like when I drop it, I want everyone to just lock themselves in their room, put their headphones on, crank it up, and just fucking shut the world out for that moment of time. And I'm gonna drop it in volumes. I think people drop in long tapes, you kind of get lost in the sauce, you know? If they drop like fucking 25 songs, there's some songs you don't really hear. So I'm gonna give volumes. I'm gonna do maybe 6, 7 on one, maybe 8 on another, maybe 12 on some. But Pink Planet is gonna be in collections of volumes, and I'm gonna be releasing that. I think in next month, honestly, in May. I kind of want to line it up with the Fast and Furious movie because a lot of it is like very like fast and make you want to drive fast.
I encourage all of you guys to check this stuff out. A Canadian accent just popped out, sorry. Man, I've been from the first time I met you, the first time I interviewed you, I was like, this guy's got so much artistry and uniqueness. And it's like, I thought you were a real person with all of that, where everyone else to me was way more phony. And I think, yeah, you hit some bumps along the road, which were not your fault, and it side-railed what could have been a much bigger career. Like, people would just like idolize you. And I think the artistry and the passion's there, so those who fuck with you know. And I'm excited to check out your new stuff, especially with you in this whole new headspace.
Yeah, and don't expect this to go like super crazy, because I'm gonna tell you right now, the only way this will go viral is if I want to put up 1.3 million. And I would rather put 1.3 million into a real estate portfolio that's gonna bring me back 30 million, as opposed to an album that's gonna bring me back 1 to 6 million and kind of break even and not break even. Yeah. A lot of people don't understand that in the marketing. So there's no such thing as the person fell off, they just turned off the switch of their marketing. That's it, because at any given moment, if you wanna be famous, you drop a fucking bag. Everyone's gonna know you. Like right now, it's super easy. If I drop a song, like just something, 15 seconds of it that's super catchy, and I drop right now $100,000 into a TikTok campaign and hit up everybody from Create Music Group to here and everyone and their mother, I'm going viral. I'm going platinum.
Every kid's dancing.
But you know what comes with that? The fame, which is something with the invasion of privacy, and it's so draining, and you have to go here and go to all the, and I'm cool on that. I like to make my music, mind my business, make my money. I'll be intimate with my fans, the core fans, and that's about it. I don't care for all the yes men and to be, on Billboard and all that. That never was my dream. My dream was to just prove that I could do it, get a deal, and I did. So like, on to the next thing on my bucket list, which is make $1 billion. That's the next thing on my bucket list, and I will do that, because everything else that I wanted to do, I fucking did it.
I need to stay friends with this guy.
All right, man, we've talked about so much stuff, and I feel like every couple of years we meet up. So this probably won't be the last time we're chatting. I hope it's on your yacht, because with that $1 billion goal, it'll be yours before it'll be my yacht. But man, I always just love hanging out. If you want to hang out after the shoot, you want to get a beer, or whatever the hell you want to do. I know you're sober then, so maybe just beer for me. But we can hang out and espresso for you. So always, Kid Buu, it's just a pleasure to meet up with you, man. Everyone, you follow you on Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram, or you want to see me and Jada's episodes, I'm on TikTok as well. I don't even know my handle on TikTok, bro. Yeah. That's how far disconnected I got from this internet stuff, guys. And I'm sorry if y'all miss all the antics, but you'll have other people. There's room for new people to do antics now.
All right, guys, thanks. If you want to check out more videos like this, I'm sure there's a playlist. The series is called Everybody is Famous. And thanks again to Kid Buu for coming out.